going on? Welcome back to a second chance. We 2022 here with myself, Philip Jones, the host, one half of the host of the second chance, and we also have my brother, Mr. Farrell Cook here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach stage 3 to stage 5 people with kidney disease.
Awesome. And we ended 2021 with a bang. And with my good friend Mark. And so we're going to start 2022 with a bigger bang with Artavius Veasey in the house tonight with us. And we appreciate you 100% for coming in and tell this story. Guy has a great story, and I couldn't wait. We set this up probably like a month or so ago. And since then, I've just been sitting there like, I'm like, man, I need January 2nd to come up. So please sit back, relax, enjoy this wonderful story. It can probably get emotional. It's some hard things to deal with, but he's gonna make it rock. And Artavius, thank you again for coming. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. First of all, I've been waiting to be on this show. Like out of all the shows that I've been on, I was like, I gotta get on a second chance. I gotta get on there. So here we are, 2022. I did it. I did it. So thank you guys for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Oh, thank you. So why don't you go ahead and get into your story? We don't like to waste no time here. So go ahead and get started. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, hello everyone. My name is Artavius Veasey. I am 31 years old. I turn 32 next month. Don't tell nobody. But I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, and my story began when I was born. I was prematurely birthed at 24 weeks, and as you can probably tell, being a premature birth, I was in the hospital for the early parts of my life. But for me, childhood wasn't so bad because I didn't necessarily register what was going on. I just thought going to the hospital for visits and everything was the norm. Well, time went on, and when I turned 3 years old, that's when everything started to happen because that's when I was diagnosed with kidney disease at the age of 3. Now, it was hereditary from my mother. In other words, I got it from my mama. And from there, it's like it wasn't a big thing because they caught it early, so they was able to monitor it along the way. They said he may end up having to go on dialysis, but for right now it's still early stages and we just want to watch him. So as time went on and years went on, I came back for my every 3 months check or however many checks I have to do. And I did that and it got all the way up until I was 13. So I just finished middle school, getting ready to go to high school. I feel like a big boy now, gonna be 14. So it was probably a couple, it was a, I want to say probably a couple weeks before I graduated middle school and I got the call. Now, this call wasn't the call that us transplant recipients get when they say you have a kidney. They have a kidney or organ ready for you. Could you get to this hospital? It wasn't that call. This call was the call that I call in my book that the call that changed it all. So this call was the one that they told me that my kidneys was failing and I need to be on dialysis like yesterday. So I remember the call just like it was yesterday. I was me, my mom, and my grandmother. We had just pulled into the driveway at the house. And I call it like that operator voice when you're like, hello, this is she. That type of, it's an important call, right? So my mama, she was on the phone with the doctor, and of course she turned her radio down. Or that's another indicator that it's somebody serious. So she was talking to the doctor and everything, and I noticed she started crying, and I was like, hold up. We were just doing good. We was singing and dancing in the car all the way to the house, and then all of a sudden you do a 180 on me. What's going on? So she ended the call and she kind of got herself together, and I'm just in the back seat, in the middle of the back seat, just bracing myself because I'm thinking somebody done died, something the world is about to end. So she looked at me. I still remember her eyes being red, and she was like, "Well, that was your doctor." And I was like, "What's going on?" And she was like, "Well, they're saying you got to go on dialysis." Hearing that D word, everything stopped. Now, mind you, my mother, she was on dialysis, so she already kind of talked to me about what dialysis is and how she uses somewhat as a scare tactic for me to take care of myself, so I won't have to go on dialysis. Now, at this time, I was like, okay, so I'm drinking my water, I'm taking a little medicine that they had me taking, and trying to stay up to date on stuff and still trying to be cool with the cool kids while I'm in school. I'm about to get ready and go to high school, so I got to make sure I'm cool with my boys outside while we playing ball at the schoolhouse, and trying to keep everything going. And then you hit me with this, so the world stopped, and I was like, "What is going on?" So at that moment, I wasn't crying. I was still in a state of shock, like, what does this mean for my life now? So we get in the house and everything, and she's crying, and I'm in my room pacing, just trying to figure out what do I do now? Because at this point, I don't know what to do. So fast forward a little bit, we get to the hospital. We had to they had to put my line and stuff in. So this was the IV. So I didn't have my catheter yet, but they put the IV in my hand, and of course they couldn't find because I have what they call running veins, and what that means basically your veins ain't about that life. So it
Right.
don't wanna you ain't gonna catch no veins up here. It'll be dodging and weaving all them needles. So it was crazy. So finally when they got a vein to put the IV in, I went up to my room and everything, and then they prepped me and let me know what was going on and all of that. And the next day when I got my catheter, I had it in my chest. So I was doing hemodialysis. And I was scared. The night before dialysis was scary because for me, for those who know me, I don't like surprises at all. I like to know what's going on. What I need to know what the exit says. So if something pop off, I can just dip. So the night before, I dreamed about it, and it was so crazy. Like it was how the thing was set up, and this is how crazy my visionary mind was back then. It had the dialysis unit as if it was ran by the devil, and
Whoa.
he was taking all of the blood from patients and just draining the blood off.
Whoa.
I was like, "Oh no, we can't do this." So I jump up, sweating and everything. My mama on the side, she was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't do this. I can't do this." She was like, "What? We done came this far. Well, look, Take, we ain't got time for that." And my mama, listen, I want to say she about 4'3". Now, mind you, I'm 5'9". Well, at this time, I was probably about 5'5" at that time, but I was towered over my mama, and everybody swear that's my sister. But she's one of those moms who are very stern and very, strict. What I said what I said. She's one of them. And she was like, "Look, we done got this far. We've already talked about this. We ain't got time for that. We got to keep going." So I'm up here praying, like, "Lord, I'm gonna need you to be with me, cause
Yeah.
I can't do this." So the nurse come in to take me to dialysis, and on the way to dialysis, now I was at Le Bonheur, so I was at the Children's Hospital here in Memphis, Tennessee, and it felt like that ride to the dialysis units was forever long. And it's like these long hallways, and it wasn't no flickering lights, but of course my mind is just like duh, 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 all of that. So just being dramatic for no reason. But it's freaking me out. So we get to the door and she was like, "You ready?" And I was like, "No." So she opened the door. As soon as she opened the door to the house, and I hear all these beeps from the machines, and of course, it's a new person coming in. Everybody stop and looking. Mind you, I don't know none of these folks. So if I don't know you, I'm like, "Hello, who? You ain't seen nobody before." But so I'm just quiet going in. We pull up in the at the front desk or whatever. The little lady come out and talk. So to go through all of this, she run me through the procedure and everything, and then we go into my first treatment of dialysis. That went through, and it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was very, very scary. So it gets to this point. I'm going to fast forward a little bit into probably about 6 or 8 months where my line blew out. So for those of us who've been on dialysis, for me, when I was there, they call it like your line blew. So basically, what that means is your catheter isn't working anymore. So they have to take it out and put it on the other side.
Mhm.
So I was like, wait, hold on. You said what? Because when she said blew out, I'm thinking, well, did it blow up? Like it's going to be an explosion or something? What's going on? So look, you got to break it down to me, okay? So when she told me that, of course, I was devastated. And when my doctor left, I had a talk with God. So now I'm a Christian, and my grandmother had raised me to lean on Him when I'm not sure about things or when I'm scared and all of that. So I had a very close relationship with God. But the funny thing, me and God talked like we were homeboys. So I'm like, okay, look, player, look, I gotta talk to you. And this is how I talk to God. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I want to make a promise with you. Here I am trying to make a promise with God. Who am I? But I was like, look, let me make a deal with you. I'm making a deal with God. So I was like, okay, look, if you get me through this, I promise you, I would do everything in my power to help somebody else. But you got to get me off this thing. I can't help your people if I'm in here.
Mhm.
So at that point, I was like, okay. So I said all my prayer. I done prayed. I done made my little deal with God. And when I finished praying, I felt this warmth, no sensation come over my body. It wasn't from the machine and all this draining fluid, but that was my, you know, clarification that okay, He heard me.
Right.
Okay. So he granted this. So okay, so this shouldn't be too long, right? Literally 6 months. I want to say about 6 months after that prayer, I got my transplant.
Cool.
So my biological father was my living donor, and it was, of course, it was amazing, and all of the hurrahs and all of, we turned up when we get a new kidney. Okay,
Okay.
so
Right.
it was a
As
whole
you should.
party.
You're
Exactly.
supposed to. Right.
So it was this whole thing. But the thing was, with me, I had braces and everything. So my braces was off. I had just turned like 15 not too long ago. So it was July 15th, 2005. And my skin had cleared up. So I had a lot of like bumps and stuff on my face. My skin is very sensitive. So when I got the transplant, literally, when I woke up, it was like a whole clean and clear commercial. Like the bumps was never there. The foundation was set and it's looking good. So I was just like, okay, Teeth was right. I was like, oh, time for a photo shoot. So you know how black folks be. Gotta take pictures and get everything. Just be extra for no reason. So of course my family come and we taking pictures, we laughing, playing games, and one of the biggest things what I remember is I was able to eat my cookies and ice cream. Now for those people who know me, I love my cookies and cream, ice cream, and I love my chocolate chip cookies. So I was able to get that because my thing was when I was on dialysis. For those of you who's been on dialysis, know we have a very, very, very strict diet. So
Mhm.
I tell you that it's so strict, you might as well just eat the paper bag because it's like whatever you thinking about eating, you can't have it. And it's like the water thing is ridiculous. I have my water jug here. I try to drink a gallon a day. I'm almost there, but that it was crazy. I did not know how much water was in food, so it was like y'all killing me with this water.
Mhm.
But anyway, once I got the transplant and everything, I was eating my ice cream, I was eating my cookies, I was eating everything. When I say everything, every syllable in that word, okay? So time went on and everything, and I want to say a year went by, and then I got dehydrated. So I had to go back to the hospital. Now at this point, I was mad because I'm in school. Now, mind you, I was in high school while I was on dialysis. So I would go to treatment. Then after treatment, I go straight to school. So mind you, how crazy that was. 'Cause I had mood swings and I had all type of feelings, and plus I was a teenager, so you know how that.
Yeah.
So trying to hide everything from my friends and everything, so they won't be like, "Oh, what's going on with him?" So I didn't want them to find out. And you tell teenagers you got kidney disease, all they gonna hear is the disease part, and that's gonna be the it for your
Exactly.
friendships.
Yep.
So I was like, I can't tell them. But after that year, and I went back in the hospital for dehydration, I had a dream that night, and it was back. I was back with God. And I don't know about you guys, but I have dreams where me and God be talking. And in this particular dream, I'd be like, you know how you in the airplane and you look out the window, you just see the clouds and all of that. That's exactly what it looked like. I'm sitting on the clouds or walking on the clouds or whatever, and I hear his voice. Now he don't have that the TV voice that we hear, Lazarus, come forward. It's not that. It's not that. It was just a regular voice. And he was like, so you remember that deal we made? And I was like, yeah, about that. I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm working. Lying. No, I ain't done nothing. So he was like, really? I was like, okay, I miss school. I miss school, and I'm trying to keep everything cool. And he was like, so you gonna lie to me so you can get this, and then you just disobey like that? And I'm like, okay, so you know what? I got you. I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna do right. He's like, okay. Got out. About 2, 3 years went by. Another dehydration. So at this time, I know he finna get me because I done told him that I'm gonna do it, and it still didn't happen. Needless to say, by the end of their hospital visit, at the foot of my bed was a poster that said kidney support group. And at that time, it's like I saw kidney stuff everywhere, like commercials, and I see billboards. And that's one thing that I had to learn. When God is trying to tell you something, He gonna remind you in a lot of different ways. You're gonna see some stuff that you ain't ever think you would see, because He will get your attention anywhere. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, I see you. So I went to the kidney support group and everything. It was amazing. I got to talk to other patients and to be on a panel with other recipients. I think it was me who was a kidney. There was a lung, there was a pancreas, and I think a heart that was on the panel as well with us. So we just sat around a round table and we talked to the patients who were, going through stuff, and for us to give our advice on how we got through what we got through, to give them encouragement along their journey. So all of that went on, and as time went on, I then began to get a little bit more comfortable with this new kidney of mine, and I promised God that I would write a book. That didn't happen until like 15 years later. So I finally finished my book, and I was super happy about that, because now I feel like, how you get to a point like, look, I can't die without doing this, because if I die, I know I'm gonna have to have this conversation with God at the gates, and He just might send me to hell because I didn't even do what I said I was gonna do. So when I finished my book, I was like, whoo, okay, well, I fulfilled my promise to an extent. So I got the book out, which is called Becoming a Living Testimony, and it's been
Hold it
doing
up again. Hold it up again so we can see it.
Becoming a Living Testimony.
That's nice, man. That's cool.
Thank you. And I was so excited to finally get it out, because at this time I was about 10 years post kidney transplant, and I felt like I was able enough, and I know a bit about kidney disease to be able to share, because I didn't want to share my story too soon, because how you have some people who talk about, or write books too soon, and they haven't lived it good enough or lived it long enough to be able to know exactly what to say. So I was like, I wanted to wait a little bit and make sure I, experience what I need to experience so I can tell other people who is going through this, okay, look out for this, or look out for this, or such and such might happen, or all of that
Mhm.
stuff. Because for my mom, like I said, she was a strict one, but she was like my coach along the way. And I'm very, very, very grateful for her because I understand that a lot of times along this journey of dialysis, a lot of people don't have that person who they can look up to or who can be that coach for them, because a lot of times our life revolve around dialysis, and if you don't have that person who's been through that, it's like that's all you know. So having a person like my mom in my life who's been through dialysis and had a transplant, I had an end goal that I know that I too can get through this. But also, I had a nurse who had told me, or who had called into a radio station when I was on the radio talking about my story. And she said, well, everybody's not going to get a transplant. And at that moment, I had to switch my messaging because I understand now that everybody's not going to get a transplant, and that's okay. But the thing is, you have to plan your life. You
Right.
have to plan your life, because if you don't, all you will know is dialysis. So, if for us who've been on dialysis, we know dialysis is 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about 3.5 hours. Last time I checked, it was 7 days in a week. So, what are you doing with those other 4 days? Okay, so if you really want something, you have to, make it happen. But see, all of that to say, I went through that and got the book out and everything, and things have just been amazing. And I'm super excited and blessed to be able to be at this point now, which this year in May, no, in July will be my 17th year anniversary post kidney transplant, which I'm super blessed and I'm super happy to be able to share my story and be an inspiration or encouragement for other people to, stick in the fight, and no matter what adversity you may face, you can still achieve your dreams no matter what.
Man, congratulations on that, man. 17
Thank
years, and that's a nice journey, man, and
I
awesome.
know.
I definitely want to check out that book. Also, man, that's pretty cool. Let me ask you the question. The first question I had was, what was your disease? You and your mom. What was the disease? The disease you guys had? Kidney.
I know she told me, what did she say?
Was it polycystic?
It wasn't that one. I'm gonna say she said something with nephritis.
Oh, glomerulonephritis.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Okay, so your mom had it also. Did she get a kidney before you, or was
yes,
she okay?
yeah,
She was already doing good when you
yeah.
had to start going through this.
Right, right. So right now, my mom is had her kidney transplant for 22 years now, and I've had mine for going on 17
Yeah,
years.
she got the recipe. She knows what she's doing.
Right,
That's
right.
beautiful.
So to have that person along my journey to coach me, look, you're gonna have
Right.
your mood swings, you're gonna feel sick and nauseated, but look, that's okay. And she was like, look, if you need to cry about it, look, go ahead, go on over there, do what you're gonna do, and when you finish, come on back because we got to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I am the way I am when I do my motivation. I'm like, look, I can be a little blunt, but I'm not gonna tell you nothing that's gonna hurt you. You
I
can
think
try.
I think what you're saying is on point, man. Because to have an amazing caregiver like that, that I'm telling you, that's really really fortunate because we run into a lot of times we run into people who don't have anybody, and so
Exactly.
just to have a caregiver like that and your mom encouraging you when you don't want to go because she knows the journey also.
Mhm.
That's remarkable, man.
Yeah.
So you were 15 when you first started when you first started dialysis, right?
No, I was 13. I was just
Okay,
about to turn 14. I got my transplant at 15.
okay, I got you. Okay, okay, man. Okay, so you when you were on dialysis, you just kept the CVC, correct? You never had to
Yes.
get a fistula.
No, my mama was not, my mom had a fistula, but she was like she did not want me to have one because I already had small arm. I'm slim, and she was like, "No, I don't want you having that in your arm because I got it and I don't like how it look. I do not want you to go through that." So it was like she really was my advocate, and honored for her and the stuff that she instilled in me during that time in my life, and to not get the fistula because I was like, because that stuff looks scary and it looked like it hurt.
Yeah, it can be, man. It can be a challenge, but I'm glad you're doing good. That's awesome. So you have a show right now too, right? Also.
Yes, so my people don't know this yet, so y'all get the exclusive only here on the at the
Okay.
segment.
Okay.
So I've been blessed to land a job at here at Miss South Transplant Foundation, which is like a dream job for me. So Miss South Transplant Foundation is an organ procurement nonprofit here, and we are ones who get people to register to become organ and tissue donors.
Okay.
And I've been volunteering for them for about 5 years now, and to be able to come on board as an official member has been a dream.
Yeah, that's
So I
awesome.
get to be around those people,
Right.
and it's like a full circle moment for me because my mom is a transplant recipient. I'm a transplant recipient, and my brother, who passed earlier a couple years ago, he was a donor. So we're also a donor family. And my biological father is my living donor. So it's like all in the family. And
Real
it's like
talk.
a great,
Yeah,
right. So it's like a dream. It's a dream.
that's awesome, man.
Let me ask you this question, because you're talking about your mom, what she went through. Do you feel that do you feel that her going through her situation helped you to be able to take the step that you took, to be able to get in a position to kind of understand and have the fight that you have in you to get to where you are, or do you just think that, or do you think that the fight in you was gonna come regardless because it's just who you are?
I would say, well, the fight in me was not always there. I ain't gonna lie to you and say it was. But having my mom and my grandma was like the best tag team I could ever have. My mom was the one who was the advocate, and she refused to let anything stop her from pursuing what it is she wanted to do. And my grandmother was the prayer warrior and the one who kept me close with God, and she the one who kept me grounded and humble in my situation. And my mom was the go-getter, was like, look, this gonna be hard, but if we keep at it, we gonna get it. So like I said, when she say, look, you need to go cry, go do that, but when you finish, come on back, wipe them tears, and we got to keep going.
Right. Right.
And having those balances was powerful for me, and to get through it, I always, every chance I get, I try to use my voice to share my testimony,
Yeah.
whether it's me verbally or getting my book out to them to share my journey, and to anything or any way I can to share, because a lot of people isn't as fortunate as I am to, one, receive a kidney, and to two, have a team like I did with my mom and my grandma. So I try to be that person for them.
Hey, how long was your mom on dialysis?
Now that I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember when I was younger seeing her. She was doing peritoneal dialysis for a little bit, and I used to come in the room, and she didn't want me and my brother to see her on the dialysis machine. So we was always just forced to stay out the room. But of course, us being little kids, we were bad. We wanted to see. So we came in the room and we saw it, and it was like, oh, what did you do? But it was nice to be able to see that, and to see a person go through that and still not let that adversity in her life stop her from doing what she wanted to do. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so strong willed and following my dreams and everything that I have going on. And a lot of people would never guess that I went through dialysis or had kidney disease.
Right, right. I think that's what I like about more than anything about the stories is I love to see people, continue on with their journey in life and whatever they're supposed to do and their mission
Mhm.
after they get a transplant, after they go through, dialysis and all these things because when we hear those words, it's almost like it feels like almost like a death sentence. You be like,
Yes,
like
right.
you stop in your tracks, and there's nothing else you can do. But then, to have somebody like your mom and have all these people praying for you and stuff like that, because I had a great support system too, and they keep you going and they motivate you, and all of a sudden you see yourself doing stuff that you didn't think you could do and everything, and just like when you made that conviction with doing when you made that pact with God, and He
Right,
holds
made
you
a
to it,
deal. Like, who am I to make a
right.
deal with God?
Right. There was a question. Bella said a question. She said earlier. She said, "Did you get dehydrated? Did you stop drinking water when you had to go back into the hospital, or what was your
So
dehydration?"
the thing was, and here in Memphis, it gets very, very, very hot in the summer, and sometimes without even noticing it, we don't drink as much water as we need. And for me, I mean, I drink water, but if I'm not like, I,
I got
I'm not
you.
gonna really like drink it like that. But at that time, they, like 6 to 8 glasses of water. Okay, I'm not thirsty, so I'm fine. But like I said, now I try to keep a gallon. It's the hardest lesson in my life, but I'm trying to do a gallon a day. I'm trying
I
to pray
got
for
you.
me on that.
Right.
All right. Well, before we get into these questions, I know Tafaro got some other questions. He holding back right now for whatever reason, but and then I have something I want you to touch on that he doesn't even really know about. But I'm gonna go to a commercial real quick, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back to a second chance. Mr. Cooks, go ahead and start us off, sir.
Okay. All
I
right.
love. First of all, I love that. I saw you had a book, Mister Cook, the Ten Commandments of. I saw it.
Yeah,
I
the
gotta
10
get that.
dialysis commandments, man. 10
Yes.
things you need to do to survive dialysis. I was on dialysis for over a decade. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's 10 things, man. 10 things that if you do these things and be good to dialysis, dialysis will definitely be good to you. And that's what a
Love
lot of people
that.
don't understand. You know, you have to stay compliant, and you know, I ain't got to tell you, but the
Right.
people out there, you know, it's funny that you say, you know, it's like eating a paper bag. It can be, but you got to get creative. You know what I mean? You got to get creative with the nutrition, and you still got to stay compliant. But there's things you can have. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this though: with the work you do now, what does a typical day look like working with CDK patients, CKD patients? Sorry.
Well, see, in my position, I'm the digital communications coordinator.
Okay.
So I handle the digital side. So I don't necessarily get to work one on one with patients, which
Okay.
I do get to. I haven't yet, but I definitely want to go on one of their cases where we go to retrieve, get the kidneys and to get the organs and stuff. But I'm the one that handle all of the social media and
Okay.
all of the videos and all of that stuff with the website and everything. Yeah,
Cool.
and I forgot to mention when you asked me about the show at the job. The show is called I just forgot it that fast. Stories of Hope. Stories of Hope podcast.
Okay.
So
I like
basically,
that.
what you guys do is interview and share personal stories of patients, recipients, and donor families with the
Cool.
goal of giving hope and spreading awareness and encouraging others to become organ and tissue donors, registered organ and tissue donors.
That's beautiful, man. That's good. And let me ask you this though. Besides, I see you drinking, you know, close to a gallon, which is on point because that's what I try to do, man. You see me with air, but we all got those jugs. You know how
Right.
I go. You know what I'm saying? So what else do you do to stay healthy, man? Do you exercise and eat right? What else
So,
do you do?
so I'm a runner. Well, now I
Okay.
can say I'm a gold medalist athlete. I'm an athlete. So,
Okay.
for those of you in the kidney world, you may have heard of the Transplant Games of America.
Yeah, I went twice. So
Yes, congrats. All right, I went twice. Yeah, I went twice as well. I went 2016 and 2018.
okay. All right.
16 was in Cleveland, Ohio,
I
and
was there.
2018.
I was
Were
there.
you okay?
Yeah. Team
And
Ohio.
come on, Team Ohio. Well, I was Team Mid South. We was Mid South over here, but I was running, so I was track and field all
Okay.
day. So my mom was also a runner in high school, and my dad was a baseball player. So
Okay.
with me in high school, I couldn't do it because of the kidney disease stuff, and they didn't want me to fall and get hurt. So I was upset. But I found out about the Transplant Games of America, and I was like, "This is my chance." So I
Right.
was happy
Right.
to go. And for 2016, I got a bronze in the 400 meter, and in 2018, I got a gold in long jump, and I got a silver in the 4x100.
Okay, so you did Houston and Ohio, right? Because
No, I did
2016.
Ohio and Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay, okay, my
State
bad.
meets.
14 was Houston. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Cool, man. That's what's up,
Yeah.
man.
So I run. So every Saturday, well, until it got cold, I used to go every Saturday morning. It was my like, almost ritual to go do 5 miles every morning because I
Okay.
love to run. Running is where I get to go top of God and clear my head and get my little cardio in. Got my little watch to let me know, okay, you done met your time. Go sit down. Yeah, I definitely go running.
All right, cool, man. That sounds good. Go ahead, Phil.
So my question is, when you had to make that transition at 13 to dialysis, where was your mindset at that time and having to make that change? Because I remember you saying earlier that you kind of intentionally were trying to keep it from your friends. Like you said, they hear kidney disease, they don't hear the kidney part, they just hear disease. So all they hear in their minds is you sick.
Right.
They
You
don't know what you're
contagious. You
going
got the
through
COVID.
or anything like that, right? So and I know that because I did the same thing. I kept it from all my friends all the way through school until high school, and that was just because I played football. So You got to get dressed in front of people. So that was the only reason
Right.
why they knew. Otherwise I would have kept it from them if I could. So when you got that call, because I remember you saying when you're in the car and your mind is like, man, what's going on,
Right.
and you now have to hear from your mom is it's that time. You probably had that conversation before, like, hey, it's coming. I
Right.
think we've all had especially me. I had it as a younger one as well. I had it every month with my doctors. I think I told the fraud that the other day. I've had it every month. I had an appointment. My doctor brought it up. You're going on dialysis. You're gonna need a transplant, and it got irritating. But I think those talks for people like us being so young help us when it gets to that time to be able to make that transition, because it's not like it's just a bomb drop, right? Like just out of nowhere where they're just like, hey, by the way, you got to make that it's time to go to dialysis. Like out of nowhere, it's coming. So when it gets there, you're like, yeah, we kind of prepared for this, right?
Right.
But
Right.
really, when you heard it, because it's a difference from hearing it from your mom, your doctor, advocate, or anybody that say, hey, one point you're gonna have to get there, and then you get there, and they say, hey, it's that time. Now you're like,
Yeah.
well,
For
what's the
me,
next step now? What we gotta do?
it was crazy. And first of all, when I had the pleasure in interviewing Philip, and when he said that on my show, I was like, I felt some type of way because I didn't get to play sports, and how he get to play sports. So I was in my feelings. So I was like, that ain't fair.
Hey
I'm
man,
just wanting to
Phil's a
run,
superhero. Okay, Phil's a
right?
superhero, man.
And he
Straight up.
playing football. That's a contact sport. I couldn't run, really. So I was in my feelings about that, but I digress.
Hey, they
But
stopped me because I got sick when I was in college playing football, and they stopped me. I mean, well, they let me play for 2 more years, but after that, I couldn't play no
man,
more.
that was like you better not even think about it. I couldn't even skip on the track, so I was mad. But for me, I'm an actor, so almost everything is like in scene. So when the whole thing, like I said, when it came to the call, it was like insane action, and I noticed the small things. I'm very detail oriented. That's the visual mind that I have. And when I noticed her turn down the radio, and then a certain tone of voice as she was on the call with the doctor, like, okay, I was like, okay, this is leading up to the climax. So what's about to go down? And when she stopped and gathered herself, and I saw her, and because she had her front visor down, and I could see, I'm nosy, I could see all of the emotion in her face. I'm like, oh, this is good, but hold up, we is in this for real. Some ain't right.
Right.
So when she said that, like when she told me that I had to go on dialysis here in that D word, it was like the world stopped. And as much as, of course, we talked about it, for me and my family, we was always prayed up and hopeful that this won't happen. We'll get through this through prayer and all of that stuff. So when it happened, it was like I shattered, but I was so in a state of shock. I didn't want to freak out because my mom was already freaking out. So I was like, somebody got to be stable in the situation. So I kind of put my emotions on pause while she, had her moment, and I tried to be the strong one and hold it down, pop, okay. But it was definitely scary. It was very scary and very hard because at the time I was trying to figure out, what do I do now, and I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out how was life going to change for me.
Hmm.
That was the biggest thing for me, and the mindset was just like shook. What you gonna do?
That's one thing I give both of y'all, man. I started, I was playing college ball when they detected I got sick, and both you guys are in high school, and
Mhm.
that is such a,
Right,
everybody
right
trying to be something
time.
different in high school. You're trying to be cool, fit in, whatever. You
Right,
trying to learn yourself,
they
and
always
then
say
you
you
got that
growing
on
pains.
top of it, man. I can only imagine, man. That's pretty traumatic,
Yeah,
just in its own right there. And you guys navigated that. And
yeah,
honestly, that's where, I can't speak on that. I did, dialysis and everything, but I was older. I can't speak on that. There should be some, you guys should do some literature or something on how to handle some situation like that where, you're a kid, you're a teenager at the time,
Right.
the most critical time, and then you're
Right.
going through, you're trying to find yourself, and then you got to worry about your health too, and that's a big challenge.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
big, like, it was so crazy. Like for me, I was struggling with a lot of stuff mentally
yeah,
in high school, not only just health wise but sexualities and all type of stuff in high school, and it was just a lot. During my situation of, I think it was 18 months I was on dialysis, I went through suicide twice, and
mm,
it was very rough for me because it got to the point where it was just too much.
I got you,
It was
man.
too much.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to make my parents happy. I'm trying to be the good kid. I'm trying to fit in with my friends and not look so weird around them because I
I
don't
got
hang
you.
out with them as much because when I get off of dialysis, I be tired.
Right,
I
Right.
don't want to hang out. I want to go
right,
lay down.
right.
So it was very tough, and to witness all of the stuff that goes on dialysis. A lot of people don't explain that the mental stress that really goes on in a teenager dealing with it, having to be locked down on a machine for 3.5 hours, 3 days a week, and then having a strict diet. You can't go hardly nowhere and have fun because you're on a diet. They gonna know all of this stuff. So it was very rough.
Yeah, how this is a question for both of y'all, but how'd you handle that? Because the activities in high school, people eat drinking pop chips and all that kind of stuff, and the first thing the doctor tell you is, that's a no. You can't do
No,
this and do
well,
that.
can't do
So,
that.
I mean, I had, I ain't gonna talk about me, but how'd you guys deal with that, man?
See, my mom always had she was for me, and I want to say it wasn't too hard because my mom had me on the regimen of clear drinks. So you either had Sprite or you had water.
That's it.
That's it. And still to this day, I go to a restaurant, I have a Sprite, and it's like it's that mentality is still there with having a Sprite and having clear drinks. And when I see a Coke or I see a Dr. Pepper, like, oh, can't have it. But I had to remind myself, you can have a Coke every once in a
Have
while.
you ever had any alcohol in your life, anything like that? I mean,
I'm 31 now.
I
So
mean, well, I know you got sick at an early age, so I mean, I know you experienced some alcohol. Okay, okay.
right. So I mean now,
That's a dumb question,
yeah.
but
So yeah.
I mean, but do you drink now? Do you drink some wine every now and then, or something like that?
I love my wine.
Okay, okay,
Now
good.
I prefer wine over alcohol because I just
Okay,
don't like how I am when the tipsy part come on or when the drunk. I've got drunk the first time in my life, and I was like, see, I don't see how people do this. Okay, I just don't like feeling like that,
yeah,
and then
I
you
feel you.
throw it
I
up
feel
and
you.
stuff. This ain't for me. This
I
ain't
feel you.
for me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I drunk 2 years of my life. Then after that, it was a wrap. I
yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, yeah.
It don't took one time for me. Them short shots of tequila, can't do this. That ain't it.
Okay. Well, I mean, and the reason why I asked, I guess, because you were so young when you got sick. So I don't know, but
Right.
yeah.
See, I didn't drink. I wasn't really drinking like that. I probably didn't start drinking until 27 when I really got into like wine. And then I was
I got
sampling other drinks and seeing what the big kids or the grown folks do. I was like, this tastes like rubbing alcohol. I can't drink this stuff. But hey, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's when I got older as well, had some couple drinks here and there, whatever. But um, when it came to like being in high school and stuff like that, for me, uh, on the way to school, I always had to pass this gas station, so I was always grabbing a bottle of water in the morning. Like, and I'm not saying that I never drunk soda, nothing like that. I'd be the bold-faced lie to tell you that didn't drink soda when I was young. I did. I drunk it quite a bit, actually, probably a little bit too much more than I should have at that time. But I did try my best to balance it though. To at least try to keep myself in a good place. It was especially with playing sports, I try to keep it more on the water side, keeping hydrated, things of that nature. And so especially like we were talking about, 2 days for the summer, stuff like that. It's 1,000 degrees when you do 2 days. You have to be hydrated and ready to go. So I tried to keep water in my life. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was after I had to have it pounded in me by my dad because I was that person, juice, soda juice, when I was younger. And then, especially at that time, I can get away with it because I was always at my aunt's house and, stuff like that, and so it's like, oh, ain't no adults around, huh? Go ahead and grab
Right.
me one of these sodas in here real quick
What a
and go
soda that.
run around the corner and drink it and come back like act like nothing happened, right?
Just don't waste
But
it on your shirt.
right, and you tell on
Tell
yourself
on
because it's
yourself,
all over
right?
you. Where did it come from? What
See,
come
what had
from?
happened was,
What? So, but
don't be mad.
I like you, I had people in my corner that wanted to see the best out of me. And so they continuously pounded in me, make sure I take care of myself, in the best ways possible. So, like especially now, to probably tell you, like I'm changing, my eating habits, my drink habits,
Yeah.
everything. Like I had one time where I spent money out the whole month of December. I put a bunch of stuff on the grill. What was that yesterday? Not yesterday. Friday. So I got stuff from there. I'm gonna probably put some chicken out there tomorrow or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And and the reason why I bring that stuff up, and I know it really doesn't do, but the story more or less, but it's just to say, I've said before, why for people like me, right, that's waiting on a kidney, why wait to get to the point of a transplant to try to make that change? It's going to be harder
There you go.
than if you do it now because see now your parameters that you have to follow make it easy for that change.
Hmm.
When you make that switch to having a transplant, you're pretty much back into that position where you can pretty much eat, drink anything, and not
In
anything
moderation, though,
in
you
the
still
words,
want to
but
watch it.
right in moderation.
Right, right.
There's certain, but you have a lot more room to wiggle with
You
Mhm.
foods
do.
and drinks and things of that
You
nature.
do.
So it's going to be a lot harder to make that transition after that when your parameters now make it easy to make that change. It's like, okay, well, I can only eat this anyway now. So might as well
Yeah.
go ahead and get used to doing it now. So when you get that transition, it's just, I'll give you a perfect example. Jonathan Traylor. Jonathan Traylor made the switch before
Love
he had his
Jonathan.
transplant
Hmm.
and he's still following it now. But because
Right.
he did it then, it's so easy for him to just say,
Stay on that
I'm gonna
trail.
go
Yeah.
ahead and just eat some rice, some grilled chicken and some vegetables and be happy and be fine. Yeah, he goes out and gets his, little, cheap meals here and there or whatever, but it's not a eager thing where it's like all the time, like, oh, I gotta have fast
Right.
food, I gotta have fast food, I gotta have fast food. To him, it's just like, okay, I just feel, okay, today my cheat meal.
I totally agree with you, Phil. That
Yeah.
at kidney care coaches, the clients I work with, man, the ones that are waiting for transplant right now, we get them acclimated to a good nutrition program right now, so they can be healthy even before they get the kidney. We
Right.
want you to be in shape. We want you to be in some form of conditioning so you can recover better, because
Right.
that has a lot to do with we were all relatively young when we got our transplants, and when you're young you can bounce back, but when you're a little bit older it makes a difference. That recovery is quite 3 months or sometimes long.
Yeah.
For us when we were younger though, it clearly wasn't 3 months. Not for me, it wasn't. I
Me
was back
neither.
up. Yeah, I was back up ready to get busy.
Right. I
So
was within that next week almost. But for
mhm,
me, when my mom had us on baked everything because she was
mhm,
already used to that diet, and it wasn't nothing different for us because we didn't really fry nothing. She baked almost everything. So that's
Smart.
all I basically knew, and I still to this day
Yes.
I baked bread
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
I don't fry nothing. Everything is
Hmm.
baked,
Right.
and that's just been how I've always ate, and I've been able to keep weight off. I'm naturally slim, so
Hey, that's good, man. That's
they
good.
said
Believe
when
me.
I get into my 30s, that's when the metabolism gonna calm down, and then I'll pack on. I said, well, it's about to be 32. It ain't stopping yet either.
Hey,
'Cause,
and you got the good thing about it, Artavius, is you got good natural habits,
yeah,
and your mom created those good healthy habits. And I think a lot of times, not in our situations, because it sounds like ours were hereditary, but some of the times it's high blood pressure and diabetes what leads to kidney disease, the two leading
exactly.
causes. And when you see those, sometimes we see the obesity too, and that can play a big role in us getting, kidney disease as well.
It's
So
all in our community.
all in our community, which leads to kidney disease. There's always something else that leads to kidney
Yeah,
disease for the most part. And that's why, if we, practice these good, healthy habits, Phil and I had Kelsey on here, who's a nutritionist, a dietitian for kidney disease patients and things like that. And we went over this information about how to eat. I used to own my own fitness studio when I was on dialysis. So I understand about the exercising and
yeah.
things like that. So these things are really really big in our community. And with that being said, if we get everybody healthier, we can also get people who are healthy to give kidneys. If they're
Exactly.
already healthy, they can give kidneys and recover and be a lot better as well. So
Yeah,
just
and that's one of the things I think. Just getting the education out there. Period.
yes,
Because I think for me, when and that's what kind of shocked me when I was young. When I was 13, when I was first on dialysis, it shocked me because while I'm on treatment, all I see is black people.
it's us. That's right.
But when I see it on TV, I don't see us. I see
Right.
white people. So I was like, I can't relate to that. So
Yeah.
I promised myself when I get to that position, I would be the person I wish I had growing up for somebody else because I didn't have nobody to look up to outside of my
Right.
mom. And what teenager want to be, following their mom all the time? So it was like I had to find somebody to look up to, and there wasn't nobody. So I was like, I'm gonna be that person when I get in that position, which I'm
There
blessed
you
to say
go.
I'm there now. I can be that person for somebody to look up to and to show them that, look, I too went through that. I went through that, and you can still live your life. And a lot of people, when they look, I don't want to say look through my resume, but look at the accomplishments and stuff that I've had, they would have never guessed that I went through that. And and that's the thing about believing in yourself and trusting the process and just sticking through with it because it's tough, but you can get through it. If you
Exactly.
plan your life around it and keep the right people around you, it's nothing you can't do.
I agree with you, Artavius. Here's a stat I wanted to read to you guys. It says, I kept this stat because I thought it was so important.
Mhm.
Black patients on dialysis are 18% less likely to be placed on the waiting list for a kidney transplant and 53% less likely to receive a donated kidney. So that's telling you right there with the disparity of what's going on here. And so when you hear these numbers, that's 18% less likely to be placed on the waiting list,
Just the
and
list.
that's just the list, and
Just the
53% less likely to receive a donated kidney. So with that being said, with the high blood pressure, I did a stat because I'm always on these stats. We have 36 million people that have high blood pressure or diabetes in this world. And that's 1 out of 7 that have kidney disease. 1 out of 7. So that's a lot. And then when we talk about the disparity of, African Americans having, high blood pressure, diabetes, and the leading majority of kidney disease, that's where we need to come together and make this impact. And that's why I'm so
list.
glad we see somebody like yourself, Artavius, moving the needle, Phil
Yeah,
moving the needle, and all these other warriors out here moving the needle in the right direction. I just wanted to say
right.
that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because during my orientation at my job, it was another stat that kind of messed with me as well. So in the tri-state area or the Mid-South area, which is the states of Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi, 4,000 people in the tri-state area are waiting on organ transplants,
Man,
but
that's a lot.
2,000 of those people are waiting on kidney transplants. 2,000 of 4,000 are waiting on kidney transplant, and 83% of those people are black.
Wow, man.
And I
That
was like,
so in 22, if we can, start telling people, the first things I believe that can help us, especially from, the majority of people getting sick with kidney disease is high blood pressure and diabetes. What controls that before any medication is your nutrition and
yeah,
getting some moving the body. I'm not telling you be out here working out crazy, but hey, a nice 20 or 30-minute walk ain't gonna hurt
right.
you. These things like that carry weight, and
Mhm.
that cuts down on the cardiovascular diseases
Yep.
and all these things. And I'm talking about just getting off the couch and doing a little bit of movement. I'm not talking about being, running 5 miles like yourself, Artavius.
Right. Walk up and down the driveway.
Right. Yeah,
It's
whatever.
the
Walk up and down the
small
steps if it's cold,
things.
but you got to move your body. And I hate to preach like that, but I'm
I'm the
strong
same
on that,
way.
man.
I'm
I'm
the
strong.
same way. And that's why with my show, I was like, I don't want to have no doctors on here. I don't want to have no nurses. I want to put forth black people for the most part, because I know I'm gonna have to have other races. But for me, I was like, I want to have black people who are either patients, recipients, or donor families. I want to put those stories out there so we can put a face to this disease, because a lot of people think it's some crazy thing that these organs going to. No, these are going to normal people like
Right.
me and like you guys, people who have
Right.
jobs, people who have families. We are normal
Mhm.
people, and it's important for us to know about our community, the black people, to know about our community and know how can we stop this. Because I know for us, for at least from what I see, we don't like to for I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it because that's how I am. That we don't want to have white people tell us what to do. But the thing is, if you're not listening, what you gonna do? So I was like, let me try to be a face to show people that look, I went through this, and I'm bringing people who like feel and like yourself and onto the show and show it's us. We have to take the initiative. They not just saying this just to be saying it. No,
Right.
we have to get our life in order. Cut down on that fast food. Get out there and move for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Drink your water. Come on, it's not that hard. And to continue to push that, my hope is to be able to reach somebody who can resonate with it and hopefully be a force and a change like myself and like you guys to help our community, because we hard headed. We hard
Yeah.
headed.
Yeah. Man.
Hard
I
head
don't
make
have
the
any more
soul
questions,
glow.
Artavius. I just want to say thank you, man, for sharing your story, and I love the your energy. I love your passion and
Thank you.
the book. I got is the book on what, Amazon or what?
Yes, so the book is on Amazon. You can get it at Walmart, Target, Barnes and
Okay.
Noble, Books a Million. So you can get it at a lot of different places. But
Man,
thank you guys.
congratulations on that, man.
Thank
That's awesome,
you.
man. That's
Thank
cool.
you. I just like I said, I just try to be that voice. And like I said, be the person I wish I had growing up for somebody else. Who's that? Oh, that's my mom right there. That's my mom. Hey, mama. But yeah, I just try to be that voice and that person, like I said, be the person I wish I had grown up for somebody else to show that you can do it. And if you have the right mindset and the right people around you, it's nowhere near as scary as
Right.
it can be. So
Right.
I just try to push that and push positivity and get some of this energy and give it to you, and hopefully it can help you have a great day.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So real quick though, before we end, I do have some announcement. But before we get to the announcements, it's something I want to get to earlier. But um, Artavius is an actor, wonderful one at that. And I just
Thank
want you to just
you.
kind of, if you can, just touch on some things that happened for you in 2021. with your film and maybe something coming up this year that you have going on.
Yes, so where do we start? We got enough time for that. No, I'm tremendously blessed. I had my first movie, my first short film, which I was the leading star. It's called Timothy, and the movie has, oh my god, has done great. So we've been killing the game in the short film industry, and we have won over 42 awards and
Wow.
selections,
Wow.
majority of them coming from outside of the US.
Okay.
And it's been amazing, like the people over in Paris and London and Japan and Canada, I was like, they know me. So it's been amazing about all the love and support that has been given from the movie, and we're in the process of making a full-length movie, which I'm super excited about because the fans has been raving and be like, we need more. That 12 minutes ain't enough.
Right.
So I'm super excited to let you guys know that we're working on that. We're finishing the script for that. Other than that, I have my magazine. I'm an artist at heart. Notice the three letters of my first name, A-R-T. I love my name. I hated it for the longest until I found it out. But I'm the publisher of Artist Feature Magazine, and
Okay.
this is our latest issue. The new issue come out next Friday, which I'm super excited about. So I just highlight artists and give them a platform to share their story, because my thing when it comes to art or magazines, they just show the art of the artist and don't tell the story of the artist. So for me, I'm big on digging deep into them stories. As you can see, I like deep conversations. So just to dissect the lifestyle of the artist, to give those who are trying to pursue a career in that form of art, to give them something to look up to, look forward to. So I have
Where can
that.
we see this film at?
So you can reach out to me and I can send you a link, but it's
Okay.
we can't show it publicly because we in these film festivals. I think we in film festivals all the way up until
Yeah,
March.
copyright and stuff like that.
Yeah, so a lot of
Mhm.
different contracts and everything. We can't have it public, but
I
I
got
can
you.
slide you on that link, but just don't share it publicly. But other than
Okay.
that, yeah, it's so much. Oh my God, Philip, you kind of caught me off guard with that one.
I will then stop right there. Then how about that?
Okay, cause woo, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, I want you to touch on that because that's an important part of who you
Yes,
are
thank
and what
you.
you do, and so I wanted the people to know uh
Yeah,
about that side of it as well. So
yeah, that's just
um
another thing for for us as dialysis patients or recipients, to show that there is no limit to what you can do in your career. I used to be on dialysis. Me,
I still am on
I'm.
dialysis, and I got
That's
theater
all right.
rehearsal next Tuesday. So
Exactly. So still,
we
It's
leaving the
like
stage, coming to hook up on dialysis. Like
exactly. We superheroes in this thing.
of
So
course.
it's like being to show people that you can go through that and still come out being a gold medalist. Who would have thought? Now they messed up when they gave me a gold. So I was like, see, now you boost my head. Now I'm be like, I'm a gold medalist athlete, talking about I'm in the Olympics and everything. They done messed up when they did that. Athlete, I'm an award winning actor, author, publisher. Look,
Man, you moving the needle in all
exactly.
types of directions, brother. I ain't mad
Exactly.
at you, man. You doing your thing.
Exactly. And it's not
That's
to
beautiful.
compete or anything, but it's to show people who go
Right.
through what we went through that
Yeah.
there's no limit to how far you can go. If you
Yeah.
plan for
And
life,
I think what you're showing more than anything is the God in you, making this big reach.
come
You know,
on.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Sometimes our depths, when we're going through something traumatic like what you went through, and then the other side, you be like, Dad, God, you really show it out, ain't you?
Right,
I
like,
mean,
oh, so this what we okay. And
right. And I accept it, with no problems,
and
so
it was I
that's a
think
beautiful thing, man. That's
when I
awesome.
was
Moving the needle in big directions, man. That's
right.
awesome.
Thank you. And when I was on dialysis, when I got my transplant, one of the nurses said, please continue to go to school because a lot of kids who get this transplant, they don't finish school. Some barely finish high school. And I was like, No, I need school because
I don't think your
that's
mama
what we
was letting
like
that happen anyway. I don't think your mom was going for that.
at all. At all, at all. So for me, I was like, okay, bet. So I have my master's degree, and
Okay,
it's like,
that's what's up.
no, you to another thing to be able to set yourself apart to show people,
Yes,
do it. Don't
yes,
let nobody make you a statistic.
that's it.
Show them what you can do. And
That's
when I,
it.
when I show, what's black folks, when we come to somewhere, we gonna show out. So
Right.
trust,
Show up and show out. That's what it's
okay,
about, man.
we gonna do
That's
that.
that's what it's
But
about. And,
yeah.
and I'm just like I said, man. When I hear stuff like that, you coming from where you come from, and see you, moving and shaking and baking the way you are.
Yeah,
That's just God showing out in front. Look what He can do for you
it's all
when
him.
you go through something so traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
it's all
that's
him.
pretty awesome, man.
I don't
Moving
take
needle
credit
like
for none of it. It's all him. Like it's him. Trust
yeah,
me, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even do half of this stuff. But it's him. Every time he give me a breath every morning to start a new day and to be there for somebody who maybe need somebody to talk to, a shoulder to cry on, whatever I can do to encourage somebody, I try to do that. Because I tell people I'm not here to I tell people that I'm very blunt with my advice and with my inspiration because how my mom groomed me. You can go cry, but when you finish, come on back. And I'm not here
yeah,
to inspire you. I'm here to empower you. Inspiration runs out. I want to take you beyond that spark of inspiration to give you that authority to step into your calling. So come on, what you want to do? Plan your life. Figure out what life do you want to live. You can do that. For us recipients or dialysis patients, we may can't go from A to B. We may have to go to A, B, C, then D to get to our destination, but that's fine. At the end of the day, you get there. That's all that matters. Don't worry about what other people say. Make sure you stay in contact with your doctor because I ain't gonna tell you to do what Tay did because I'm 16 years over. And so be with your doctor. Let's figure out what you can and can't do, but there's always a way around everything. Find the way that works best for you and you go do your thing. I'm here. I believe in you, so you do it too.
Awesome,
And that's all I got. I'm
awesome.
gonna be quiet. I don't want to take over y'all
Hey,
show.
it's
We
no, this show's about you, man.
Cause I go
This
there.
is your show. It's about you. So we're
we
glad to have you.
appreciate
We're
you.
just really appreciate it. Go ahead, Phil. I'll shut up.
No, we appreciate you coming on real quick. If you want to stay, Artavius, you're more than welcome while we make these announcements real quick. If not, it was a pleasure. We
It's
appreciate you
fine.
being
I'm here.
on.
I like
Yeah,
talking
man.
to
Um,
y'all.
It was great, man. Thanks for your
so
for
Thank
blessing us with your presence, man. That was
thank
awesome.
you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for what you do.
so we got a couple announcements for the future of Second Chance. Um, Starting tomorrow, hopefully starting tomorrow, as long as things don't come up. But starting tomorrow, me and Mr. Cook will be on the Second Chance Monday through Friday at some point in the day.
Okay.
It's not going to be our normal Sunday night show. We're not trying to keep you there for an hour and a half, nothing like that. We're going to be on, 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most. We'll hit on some topics, talk about these things, conversate, make it interactive with the people watching, and then we getting out here and we getting off. It's just to, we're trying to do more with the knowledge that we have between the two of us. We got 50 some years of experience between the two of us, and we could probably do this for 30 years nonstop every day. But so our whole thing at this point now is, to continue to bring you the stories of people like Artavius on Sundays, maybe on a Thursday if that's how the schedule has to work or whatever. But then be educational at the same time for you to have this information, whether you are and knowing that you're going to have to deal with kidney disease later in life or don't know and it just comes. The whole purpose of it is to save and change lives for you to know and have this information so you could be ready and put in a position to make things happen when it comes in front of you. So that's number one. Number two is Second Chance. We'll be having a website coming out. It'll probably go live tomorrow. Still have some things I'm trying to get put on there and worked out, and things I'm doing this on my own. So still some things I'm trying to figure out and put together. So if nothing else, it will be out at the latest, and I'm trying to make it like tomorrow, but the latest will be Friday. And that will be announced Facebook, however, whatever social media we on, it'll be announced that way with the website. Number three, and this is very exciting for me. Um, the next for the month of January, next week, um, we I announced that last week. Alexandra Rosa, who's been on a number of people's shows, start, especially Mr. Kidney. I think she does what Fridays, the day after
Yeah, she
Mr.
does
Cook.
Fridays.
She has her own channel as well, Spice. Great person. So she's going to come on next Sunday and tell her story. The week after that, which is July 16th, I believe, we have Ali Dawson, who is a kidney transplant living donor that is in London, England. And then the week after that, we have D Moore, who is also in London, England as well, who is the host of Diary of a Kidney Warrior, has our own show as well, on podcast in the London area, and very excited to have both of them on 2 weeks in a row. January 31st, we got Kidney Trails coming over, gonna come on the show January 31st, which is a Monday. Dylan and Anthony, man, we've been talking for the past couple of weeks, and they've been real supportive of Second Chance and us of them, and very excited to bring both these two wonderful advocates in the kidney community on the Second Chance to come and talk to us, tell both sides of the story, why they do what they do, and the story behind it. So very excited for them as well. Working on the month of February now. I know I have a production as well as a workshop I have to be a part of for our theater team in February. So that's going to be a busy month. So trying to get some things done with that. So, but the main thing, definitely look out Monday through Friday. Whenever the time throughout the day presents itself for myself and Mr. Cook to kind of do it together. It may even be Mr. Cook by himself. He may have some, I might not be available, but he may be available to come on and do something. But you will see one of us at one point in the day, Monday through Friday, to come on and speak to you guys about things going on. Transplant community, non-transplant community is about education. It's about putting you in a great position to be knowledgeable about the things that are out there in the world. So we want y'all to know 2022 is going to be a blast for us this year, man. It's going to be a wonderful experience, a wonderful ride. We appreciate everybody that's been with us since March 1st of last year, 2021. We're coming up on the year in March this year. So I'm trying to figure out something to do for us to celebrate for that as well. And, again, we appreciate the support. We appreciate the love from everybody who comes in every Sunday or any show consistently that comes in and gets interactive with us. And so, it's gonna take literally God to remove us from doing this. So please stick with us, be patient with us. We're doing literally the best that we can. Mr. Cook has a billion other things outside of a Second Chance that he got to do as well, right? So, it's not like I'm just trying to make a whole bunch of stuff happen, but I try to coordinate with Mr. Cook as well to make sure that we can make it happen, and make it, and have it done right. So again, Artavius, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Cook, as always, appreciate seeing you, and we will see you all hopefully tomorrow. Definitely look forward to joining you guys during the week, and we will see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful year.
Yes.
Right. Take care.
Beautiful new year. All right.
Yes.